Welcome to the wonderful channel where books are discussed. Yes, there is a summary of this book too. If you're ready, let's get started.
Honoré de Balzac's The Lily of the Valley is one of the most touching, spiritual, and melancholic novels in French literature. A story that combines impossible love, personal sacrifice, and the conflict between desire and duty. The novel tells the tale of Félix de Vandenesse, a young man starved of affection in his childhood, and Henriette de Mortsauf, a virtuous married woman who becomes the center of his heart. Through their relationship, Balzac explores the themes of pure love, the burdens of family duty, and the moral dilemmas of passion. The story begins with the life of Félix de Vandenesse. Born into an aristocratic family, Félix grows up deprived of affection and warmth. His mother is cold and distant, while his father is strict and unloving. The boy is left in a constant state of neglect, longing for the tenderness and support that he never receives. These years of emotional starvation shape him into a young man deeply hungry for love, sensitive to kindness, and vulnerable to attachment. Balzac spends time drawing this picture because Félix's early suffering explains why. Later in his life, he becomes so passionately bound to a woman who offers him the maternal affection and tenderness he has always longed for. As a young adult, Félix leaves Paris for a time, traveling to the idyllic region of Touraine in the Loire Valley. He is weary of the superficiality and artificiality of Parisian society and longs for something genuine. It is in this tranquil countryside that his destiny changes forever. At a social gathering, he meets a woman who instantly captivates him, Henriette de Mortsauf. Henriette is described almost like an angel, graceful, beautiful, and filled with quiet dignity. Yet her life is marked by difficulty and sacrifice. She is married to Count de Mortsauf, a man who is bitter, irritable, and sickly. He is consumed by jealousy and selfishness, offering his wife little comfort or happiness. Henriette's devotion is instead given to her children, whom she raises with love and patience. To the outside world, she is the perfect wife and mother, pious, loyal, and self-sacrificing. But within her heart, she carries an immense loneliness. When Félix meets Henriette, he is immediately struck by her gentleness and beauty. But more than that, he feels the warmth of her soul. Henriette, for her part, sees in Félix not just a young admirer, but a vulnerable spirit who desperately needs affection. What begins between them is not a romance in the usual sense, but a deep, spiritual bond. They become confidants, companions in heart, bound by mutual understanding and emotional intimacy. Henriette is determined to maintain virtue and fidelity. She knows she cannot betray her husband or her children, nor the religious and moral principles she lives by. For this reason, she and Félix never cross the line into physical intimacy. Their love is one of souls, not of bodies. She nurtures Félix, guiding him with wisdom, teaching him patience, restraint, and selflessness. To Félix, she becomes a teacher, a protector, almost a motherly figure, and at the same time, the great love of his life. But Félix is young, full of passion and desire. As their relationship deepens, his yearning grows stronger. He loves Henriette with a fervor that is not content with spiritual closeness alone. His body longs for what his soul already claims. This creates a painful conflict within him. He reveres Henriette's purity, yet he is tormented by his own physical desires. He struggles between respecting her boundaries and the overwhelming impulse to break them. Henriette, too, is torn. She loves Félix more deeply than she can admit, yet her sense of duty restrains her at every step. She believes her role as wife and mother requires her to sacrifice her personal happiness. To give in to Félix would be, in her eyes, a sin of betrayal not only of her husband, but of her faith. And so, she holds fast, transforming her passion into a form of spiritual devotion. The tension between them intensifies. Félix, unable to fully suppress his instincts, sometimes seeks solace elsewhere, having fleeting encounters with other women. Each time this happens, Henriette suffers immensely. She does not condemn Félix outright, but her heart aches with disappointment. To her, his actions seem to diminish the purity of their bond. Her ideal of love is absolute, faithful, and eternal, even if it must remain unconsummated. Despite the struggles, their relationship continues, growing deeper but never fully realized in the way Félix longs for. Years pass. Félix returns to Paris and becomes involved in politics, pursuing a career that demands ambition and pragmatism. But no matter how far he goes in the world, Henriette remains the secret center of his existence. Every achievement feels empty compared to the quiet joy of being near her. Henriette, meanwhile, begins to fade. The burdens of her life, the care of her children, the weight of her unhappy marriage, the unrelenting demands of her moral convictions take a toll on her body. She becomes ill, her strength weakening. Through it all, she continues to embody patience and devotion, never abandoning the principles that define her. Eventually, Henriette dies, leaving Félix devastated. Her death is not only the loss of the woman he loved, but also the collapse of the spiritual bond that had defined his soul. He realizes that no other woman will ever replace her. No passion will ever equal what he shared with her. In her, he had found the perfect balance of love, purity, and sacrifice. With her gone, he feels incomplete for the rest of his life. Balzac's The Lily of the Valley is more than a love story. It is a meditation on the nature of passion, morality, and sacrifice. It asks the reader whether true love must be physical, or whether the highest form of love is one that transcends desire. It explores the painful reality that some loves, no matter how deep, cannot be fulfilled in this world. And it shows how such impossible loves, though tragic, can elevate the soul. Teaching patience, wisdom, and selflessness. Félix represents youthful passion, yearning, and the desperate hunger for affection born of childhood wounds. Henriette represents sacrifice, virtue, and the power of restraint. Together, their relationship becomes a study of contrast between body and soul, desire and duty, passion and faith. By the end of the novel, the reader is left both moved and haunted. We admire Henriette's strength, we sympathize with Félix's longing, and we mourn the love that could never truly be. Balzac shows us that the purest forms of love may also be the most painful, precisely because they demand sacrifice and deny fulfillment. So, what do we take away from The Lily of the Valley? Perhaps that love can take many forms, some joyous, some sorrowful, and that even unfulfilled love has the power to shape a life forever. The novel leaves us with questions. What do you think of Henriette's decision to sacrifice her own happiness? Was she right to deny herself and Félix? Or should love, when it is real, defy all obstacles? And what do you think about Félix? Was he selfish or simply human in his desires? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did you enjoy this summary? What lessons do you draw from this story of impossible love? And if you'd like to hear more timeless classics summarized in depth, don't forget to subscribe to Fast Book Pod and hit the like button to support the channel.
The summary of another book is finished. What did you learn from this book? Have you read it before? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel.